Enjoy talking to people and getting paid to do it? This may be the right choice for you. Apply within or send your resumes to careers@woca.com.
All right, thank you. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock, it is 76 degrees, and looks like we're going to have rain today, like we pretty much have every day. We have several campaigns going on in our community. In fact, I just understood that there were two candidate forums happening today, one over at the Riley Art Center, which is where our next guest will be later on today, and the other one is at the Hilton, I'm sorry, the Holiday Inn. Thank you. I'm thinking Hilton because you have a history with the Hilton. In the studio is Ed Wilson, Edward Paul Wilson. He's a candidate for Marion County School Board District 3. And so he's here to talk to us about his candidacy. It's not your first time running for that seat, is it?
That's correct. I ran 4 years ago and lost. I'm doing it again, so it's official. I've lost my mind.
Well, good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you very much for allowing me to come in and giving me this opportunity.
Tell me about yourself. Are you from here?
I moved here in 1981. I was really young back then. I met my wife. And we've been married for 32 years, raised our 4 children, and have 9 grandchildren.
Oh, my gosh. Isn't that sweet? Does everybody live nearby?
No, two of them live two of my kids live real close, and 2 of them are up north.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And where are you from originally?
I grew up in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Maryland?
Yeah. I don't like to let people know about that, but that's okay.
Is that right? Well, now, your accent sounds further south than Maryland.
Yeah, I'd get that. People would start asking me, where are you from? Right here. Well, you don't sound like it. Well, God made me this way, and I guess he loves me. I know he loves me, so it's all good.
So tell me about the school board interest. In your the information I downloaded from the internet, which I guess you forgot about, your PDF that's online, it says you started going to the school board years and years ago just to kind of watch what they do, right?
Yes. I really have a deep, strong desire to leave my little world better than I found it. So I've been getting involved politically. The first time I went to vote, and I looked at the ballot, and I didn't know anybody on there hard. I made a promise to myself that I would get to know every candidate and know who I'm voting for. And I think that's a really important thing. So I joined the Home Builders Association way back in the early 2000s and made a trip to Tallahassee and found it disgusting. But I've been going back to Tallahassee and trying to be involved and trying to make a difference. And now I work with Florida Citizens Alliance and Americans for Prosperity and other groups to try to improve education and defend our rights. And so I've built relationships with a lot of legislators, all our locals plus many others.
Is that right?
Yes,
wow.
Yes. So that when I go up there, I can and be a part. It's kind of like pounding your head on a brick wall, but eventually the wall gives way. We did get a bill passed a couple years back that strengthened our ability to view the instructional materials and object to them, and also
did you have a chance to look at the textbooks that were being considered?
Yes, and that's quite a daunting task and a little bit above my head, so I'm glad that other people jump in. But Marion County has adopted their own instructional material committee and process in line with the law that we helped strengthen. And so I'm really kudos to Marion County Public Schools for trying to do the right thing and select our own instructional materials. And we can kind of get rid of Common Core that way.
Do you know, and this is just because I do a radio show, so I hear from listeners, and one of the things that used to come up, and I'm only mentioning this to kind of get your feedback on it, 2 of the things that came up was Common Core and American history.
Yes.
Those were 2 subjects that our listeners felt, at least the ones who called and said something about it, felt we were not teaching our children what they should know. They weren't happy with Common Core. And I don't even understand the Common Core versus the old way, because math is changing all the time, it seems like. But it's American history that one kind of struck me weird, is why would we not teach American history?
Right, and it's in the statutes. And so part of what we did to get the law passed was prove to the legislators that the Florida Department of Education is actually not following the law. And that helped push that bill over the top.
Is that right?
There was a lot of pushback from DOE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, Common Core, and they treated us like we had the plague when we went up there to stop Common Core. So the next couple years, we didn't talk about Common Core. We talked about instructional materials. You have to learn how to play the game, because you go up there
Absolutely.
and we
Yes.
could get a bill passed without
Yes.
offering them any money. We did good. That's a
I love
huge
that.
deal.
I love that. You have to learn how to play the game, and I love the phrase "without any money." Is your trade the building trade? Is that?
Yes, I'm a general contractor. I've been a general contractor in Marion County since the mid '80s,
Oh, okay.
and this is my home. I'm not going anywhere. When I die, throw me on the burn pile out back.
Are you a star architect? Have you ever heard that phrase before? A
No.
star architect?
Oh no, I'm not a star, and I'm not an architect. I'm just a builder.
So you had done some work at the Hilton, and which was. I just want to ask you briefly because I was in the Hilton
yes.
for a little while. So
Yeah, after I got back, Hurricane Andrew, I spent my weekdays in Miami rebuilding a nursing home.
Oh, wow.
That got wiped out, and I got back and actually fell off a roof and smashed my right foot to pieces. So I got hired to be the chief engineer at the Ocala Hilton.
Oh, my goodness.
They called
Wow.
it facility manager, and that was a fancy title. So I was there for over 9 years.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I just wondered if we crossed paths before.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so specifically, let's talk. The one thing that's coming up next month on the ballot is the millage rate. Is it 1 mil? I think.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your thoughts on that.
It's a referendum of 1 mil increase. It was an increase 4 years ago. 4 years ago, and I ran against it 4 years ago because I think we're taxed enough already. But in the meantime, I'm also on the part of that referendum that created an oversight committee to make sure that the money goes to what they said it would go to, which is art, PE, music, teachers, and vocational training. And I've seen the good that it's done. It's no longer a tax increase because the voters voted it in 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just to maintain it for 4 more years, keep it going for 4 more years.
Yeah.
And also they've added safe schools to the wording.
Yes.
And
yes.
That's the most basic. Everyone on our campuses needs to be safe.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm going to say something that stems from this listenership, that after that close call, and thank God it was a close call at Forest High School. Thank God it wasn't anybody getting killed, and hopefully that young man that got shot in the ankle is doing okay. But after that, everybody wanted safe schools, and when we realized that this millage, maintaining the millage thing, not increasing it, but maintaining it, might help with securing the schools more with security, I think I haven't heard one person talk against it, to be honest with you.
Right. I mean, again, it's just the most basic. If you're not safe, you can't learn, you can't do it. People need to be safe. We need to be safe.
Yeah.
And they voted, we have to have by law statute now 1 school resource officer at every school. And Sheriff Billy Woods and Superintendent Dr. Mayer have done a super job.
Yes.
And our larger high schools are actually going to have 2 school resource officers, and there's still a pretty big shortfall in the funding, but the increase in property in home values, they're going to find that money and make sure that we have the school resource officers at every school. Mm-hmm. And I think that's tremendously important, very important.
I want to go back to something you said earlier. You mentioned that you wanted to keep a watchdog eye on how the money is spent, a good stewardship of the money. Is there anything you can tell us regarding how it's been done? Have they been good stewards, the people on the school board, or is there something we could do better? And I'm not asking you to badmouth the school board that's currently in place. I'm just wondering if you've observed something you think can be improved on.
Well, so thanks for bringing me back to that ICROC committee, Independent Referendum Citizens Overwatch Committee, whatever it is. I sit on that committee, and they have done a super job. That committee has done a super job of making sure that the money is not being spent on anything other than what the referendum called for. So they're doing a really good job with that. Now, in other areas, when you have over $500 million budget, I'm sure there's a lot of waste. And with my experience in construction and maintenance, I'll definitely be looking at those areas to see where we can find some cost savings. But I'll also be, looking at all areas of the budget to try to find any wasteful spending and make sure that that money gets to the classroom where it needs to be.
If you are just tuning in, Ed Wilson is visiting with us this morning. He is a candidate for Marion County School Board District 3, and I will take this time and not say anything and give you a chance to kind of give your campaign spiel if you want. I got to figure out another word than spiel. What's a better word than spiel? I say that every time.
Speech.
Speech.
I don't have one, so please ask me a question.
Oh, you don't have one? Well, because my next thing would be the silly stuff, which is I call them left field questions.
Okay, we'll bring it on.
What do you want to just talk to the listeners, or do you want to go straight to the left field?
Well, please vote Ed for education. I'll work really hard, like I have been, to improve public education. Thank you, and God bless you. There's my speech.
All right, so that's awesome, and I must tell you that I really didn't know you were a builder before I wrote this left field question. I swear I didn't know that.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay, do you have a website before I do this? You have a Facebook page, I know that.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. This is oh my gosh, I can't believe I wrote this down. All right. Have you ever built a treehouse?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe that question was. I must have been attuned to you or something.
I even had a lady talk to me about building a treehouse for her. Believe it or not, it didn't happen because she wanted the tree to grow through the house, and she wanted it for almost free.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's always the case, right?
It was in historic downtown Ocala, so I really didn't think it was a great idea anyway. But.
So did you build a treehouse when you were a kid?
Oh, well, I've built more than one. So, yes, as a child, I built a couple tree houses, and my house is, my grandfather would call my house, my wife and I, a kid city. I have a very extensive playground for children at my house, including a zip line.
No wonder you love children. No wonder you want to work for the school board.
I do want to work for the school board. I do love children, and I think we owe it to them to make sure that they have every opportunity to achieve their full potential.
I think I'm psychic. I mean, I wrote this question for you. And you know what I asked Dr. Heidi Mayer yesterday?
What?
When's the last time you blew the seeds off of a dandelion? And she said the day before.
Wow.
One day earlier.
Yeah, I haven't seen any, but...
But your question is about a treehouse. All right, so the other question for you is, this is probably going to be, yes, do you own a compass?
Of course I own a compass. Of course I own a compass.
You own
now,
a
which
compass.
one are you talking about, for direction or for circles? But
For direction.
I was a Boy Scout leader for over 8
Oh,
years.
my
and I helped
gosh.
4 boys earn their Eagle Scout, my son, and 3 other boys earned their Eagle Scout. And it was I did it for my son. But it was one of the best things I've ever done for myself was be a Boy Scout leader.
Oh my gosh, you are just built for working with children.
Thank you.
So one more, just because nobody ever answers this differently. Camping or hotels?
Camping.
Oh, you go camping?
Yeah,
You're the first.
camping.
You're the first to go camping.
I love camping. I'm not too crazy about hotels.
Even though you
really.
worked in one for 9 years, right?
Right.
Ed, thank you for coming in. That was fun.
Thank you very much, Larry, for letting me come in. I really appreciate the opportunity, and God bless you for all the work you do.
Can you real
Thank
quickly promote the event you're at today at the Riley?
Yeah, Marion Coalition for Effective Government is having a candidate coalition starting at 6:30 in the Riley Arts Center. So please come out and meet the candidates. I think it's very important to be an educated voter, so please come on out.
Yeah, an educated voter for those responsible for the education of our children, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ed. That was fun.
Thank you, sir. I enjoyed it.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
And use the video. Spread it around. Help Ed spread the word about his campaign.
I'm sure my wife will do just that.
Well, Mrs. Wilson, we'll get it up there right away.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Ed.
very much.
We'll be right back.
Hey Adam, those burgers gonna be done before summer's over?
Maybe. Why? You got big plans for the summer?
Not really. Just the usual, kids hanging around the house. How about you?
Actually, I'm having Joshua get his pilot's license this summer.
What? Is he old enough? Can you really do that in just the summer?
Yeah, you can get your pilot's license at 17, and the summer is plenty of time. Plus, this could be the start to his career as an airline pilot.
That is a great idea. I bet Tyler would love that. Actually, I would too.
You guys should do it.
I don't have time for that. Some of us have to work for a living, you know?
Not you, no. Seriously, they work around your schedule.
Really? That's cool. Where are you going?
Ocala Aviation, at the airport off 60th.
How'd you hear about it?
I heard about it on the radio, then I stopped in. I've got a card if you want the number.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone.
Hurry up, the burgers are burning.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
861-7484.
Hold on. I missed a number.
Ah, such a slacker. Here it is again. 861-7484.
Excellent. I'm going to call them now.
How about we eat before you start your new adventure?